Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. All you poor people that had to work today, I slept all day long. I threw dinner in the crock pot so I didn't have to cook. Man, it was so good. Anyway, then I went right back to sleep. And then I woke up and I did some clips and then I went right back to sleep. I did I did stay at Fleischer's court all day though. I did do that. Then I slept. It was a marathon. Muted. Absolute. Oh, that's another person. Oh, I almost muted Law Talk with Mike. Oh, guys, I muted Fozzie. Now he's gonna send me messages and I'm not gonna see him. He's gonna be like, "Why aren't you answering my text messages?" Ah, it's because I muted you. No, I can't mute Fozzie because he says things like, "Turn your microphone on, move the camera." The background it doesn't understand my shirt, so sometimes it fades into this background, which is really cool. Watch, it's not gonna do it, but it was doing it, so that's all that matters, right? So I have a special appearance today in a different courtroom. It's pretty cool. The clip isn't cool, but it's very exciting. You'll see. You'll see. It might be first. I don't know. I didn't name my clips today. They're still just the numbers. So I'm just going to play them. Doesn't matter what order I play them in, right? Oh, there's one clip in here that's named.
Claim, Your Honour, is in paragraph 12 of the statement of claim, which I'll just seek to summarise. The effect of the claim is that Dr. Kolajesic began research and development into what's known as ionic liquid.
Yeah, I don't know how that clip keeps getting in there. That was an accident again, guys. Not really. All right, let's start with the shortest one. Yes, I did. I did yesterday too, Linus, and it was orange, and it was for you. But I'm glad you were sleeping. Here we go.
So as I call your name, come forward. Eric Chapman.
Yo, ladies.
Good morning, Mr. Chapman. How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay, the charge before the court from yesterday is called drug paraphernalia possession regarding a pipe. That fine range is $100 to $500. Do you want to plead not guilty because you...
I have to point out, if you're looking at this, working, that I think this is Georgia, guys. I have not been able to I got that one tiny clip from Georgia since the hurricane. The one courtroom I saw that was open since the hurricane. Georgia. And then I got a trial started in Georgia with that short little attorney that gets really mad. I don't know if the trial is good or bad, but we'll see. It should end today. I got it yesterday. It starts at 9 a.m. today. I also got Judge Stokes in Florida today, and one other. I can't remember who it was, but I didn't get anything good from their courtroom. I'm just excited that Georgia courtrooms are finally starting to get up and moving after the hurricane. I know we have another big one, big one coming, and I hope you guys evacuate. I just do. I just always hope you guys evacuate before that happens. I would evacuate. I would be gone. I would be sleeping in my car in another state and then coming back. But I thought, you know what I thought when I looked at this courtroom, Linus? It reminded me of a flight of beer. So if you don't know what a flight is, you can go into a brewery and you can get, instead of one 16-ounce beer, you can get a board that holds little 5-ounce beers. And when I deliver flights, they're always so pretty. The colors are, you got your pale ales, and this has made me think of a flight of beer. They have a flight of beer. Yeah, evacuate. If you are in the hurricane's path, don't try to wait it out. Evacuate. You can go back tomorrow, take a vacation. Yeah, the taste boards. Sometimes people ask me for tasters, and I never know what the heck they're asking me for. Are they asking me for a sip? Because I'll give you 100 sips. If you want to taste beers all night and never buy one, I don't care. Or are they asking for a board? But I'm worried about everybody in Florida. A lot, a lot. I hope you guys can all go to Fozzie's house. Florida and Texas isn't that far. You're fine. Don't evacuate.
Want to hire an attorney or have a trial?
I want to be let go from it.
Say that again.
I want to be let go from it.
Say it again?
I want to be let go from it.
You want to be let go? Well, I don't really know what let go from it means. You either plead not guilty and you come see me pursuant to a bond, or you plead guilty or no contest and you come see me to talk about how to pay it.
Wait, which one I get confused there.
So, Mr. Chapman, since you're a little confused, let's just have a seat and I'll have a longer conversation.
No.
It's okay. Have a seat. I'll call you up a little bit later after you see.
Would I plead not guilty or plead no contest?
Well, have a seat and I think you'll understand a little bit better later. Have a seat.
You called me up.
Go ahead and have a seat. You can wait. Have a seat. Joshua De La Cruz.
Hey, what's your language?
Mr. De La Cruz, we saw you. Now, Mr. Chapman.
Yes.
Okay. Same charge that everybody else has today so far. It's called drug paraphernalia. This is a pipe from October 6th. Do you want to plead not guilty because you want to hire an attorney or have a trial?
I don't want to have a trial. I just wanted to go.
Okay, you don't want a trial, so you either plead guilty or no contest.
Guilty or no contest?
You choose one.
Both. I don't know. I don't know what no contest means. I don't know what it means.
No contest means that if you had a trial, you feel like you'd be found guilty. Guilty means I'm just plain out guilty.
Guilty then, yeah.
Okay, on your guilty plea, fine and court costs is $531 with $300 jail credit. You still owe $231. Then another drug paraphernalia possession from October 1st. Over on Seminole Street. This is a pipe. How do you plead?
They let me go from that.
Yeah, they didn't arrest you, but they gave you a ticket. So you're still going to enter a plea today when you see me.
Okay, so guilty.
Okay, on your guilty plea, fine and court costs is $531. So you've got to come see me tomorrow at my courthouse. You know where I'm located?
Yeah, downtown.
Over on the 4th Street side of the police department. Is there any reason you can't be here at 1:30 tomorrow to come talk to me about how to pay $762 to, I don't want you to pay it, but I expect you to be here to talk about how to pay it.
I guess
How is he going to pay $700? You want to know how he's going to pay $700, guys? He's not going to pay anything, and they're going to put him in jail, and he's going to get like $100-some a day. That's how he's going to pay off his fine. That sucks.
I show up there tomorrow morning.
Say that again?
I can show up there tomorrow morning.
I couldn't hear that.
I can show up there tomorrow morning.
Oh, no, don't be here tomorrow morning. Come tomorrow. Well, you can come see me at 10:30 to talk to me at 11, or you can come at 1:30 to talk to me at 2, okay?
I don't know. They let me go?
Yeah, you're getting out of jail today.
Okay.
But you've got to come to the courthouse for a hearing tomorrow, no later than 2.
Okay.
Oh, Donald, you would rock that haircut. Yes, you would. Okay. The next shortest clip is this one.
Oh yeah, no thanks.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm ready. This is on Joe. Thanks, thank you. Has you been on both of them? This is on WI. Are the same both? No, 13. Right, WI. Okay, let me see.
Only my wife is excited. Only one person is excited. You have to be excited, guys.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
213 and 216. Got it.
Guys, that's Goat Luis from Judge Fleischer's courtroom. Look, right here. Oh, right here. See him? Do you see him? He's in a different courtroom.
Okay, so you're Anill Chako?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Chako, you are charged on 2 offenses. You're charged with the offense of assault of a family member, and you're also charged with the offense of...
I absolutely would never, ever show a message that someone sent me on live stream. Ever, ever, unless I'm told to. Ever. That would be seriously rude.
driving while intoxicated as a second offender. Both of these cases, sir, are Class A misdemeanors, which means that you can get up to 1 year in the county jail and up to a $4,000 fine. You signed some documents this morning on both of your cases. One of the documents that you signed on both of these cases is entitled Misdemeanor Plea of Guilty. That document, sir, says that you have certain constitutional rights. That document says that you have a right to have a jury trial, a right to confront any witnesses that may testify against you at that trial, and a right for your attorney to cross-examine those witnesses. However, when you sign those documents on both of your cases, you give up all of those rights. Do you understand? Now, Mr. Chako, I also want to let you know that you also signed 2 other sets of documents. One of them says that after today, you do not have a right to appeal your case or your cases in today. And the other documents that you signed says after today, there's not going to be any more work or investigations done by your attorney or the attorneys for the state. Both of these cases in today. Do you understand, sir? Yes. Mr. Chako, did you sign all of these documents on both of your cases freely and voluntarily? Yes. Has anyone forced you to sign any of these documents? No. And has your attorney, Mr. Garcia, answered all your questions that you have on both of your cases? Yes. Mr. Chako, to the offense of assault family member, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Yes. No, guilty or not guilty? Yes, I am guilty. All right. On your charge of driving while intoxicated as a second offender, how do you plead on that case, guilty or not guilty? Yes, I am also guilty. All right, Mr. Chako, on your plea guilty on both cases, the court finds you guilty of the offense of assault family member and assesses your punishment as per the plea agreement at 216 days in the county jail. You'll be given credit for 72 days that you've already served. That is time served, no more jail time. On your plea of guilty to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a second offender, the court finds you guilty of that charge and assesses your punishment as per the plea agreement at 213 days in the county jail with credit for 71 days that you've already served. Both of these cases, sir, are time served, which means there's not going to be any more jail time that you need to do. And the court is also going to run both of these cases concurrent with each other, which means that whatever time you do on one, you do on both. The court is also going to run any court costs that you might owe to the county on both of these cases concurrent with your cases, which means that you will not have to pay any money to the county. And in reference to your driving while intoxicated case, there's going to be a suspension of your driver's license for a period of 1 year. All right, Mr. Chukov, do you have any questions on anything that I mentioned to you, sir? No. Mr. Garcia, any questions? Nothing further, Judge. All right, sir. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
What
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
a night and day
Yes, sir. Hey, Ms.
difference
Santana.
from Judge Fleischer. A night and day difference. And Luis just stood there and translated. He didn't have to say stuck like truck. He didn't have to say Mother Teresa. He didn't have to say kittens, a burning building, any of that. Just the law. Now, so Fozzie and Donald did something today. And I'm still trying to figure out how they did this. Okay, so I got a comment from Christine. She sent it to me, Donald, and Fozzie. She says, my neighbors must think I'm a lunatic, and it's all your fault. I was in our cold plunge pod in the back deck watching replay when Kathy started in about trying to crack the walnut. The image of the frying pan was hysterical enough to be topped by Donald's cheeks. And there I was sitting outside in a tub of cold water on a chilly morning laughing out loud. It must have been a sight. Okay, you all heard the message. You all heard the message. This is how they responded. Fozzie, LOL. Glad we can make you laugh. We always have a blast with Kathy. Donald, that's so neighborly of you to interrupt their slumber with uproarious laughter. You're bringing property values down. Shameless. Did they completely miss the part that she was sitting in a cold plunge? Girl, hot tub. Not cold plunge. What are you doing? Go get into something hot. What are you doing sitting in cold water outside for? No. Even if you're drinking alcohol, there's not enough alcohol to fix that. Just turn the hot water on. You already have the pool right there. Cold plunge. No. Who told you to do that? Your doctor? Nan's a nurse. Nan, tell her to put some hot water in there. It just hurt my feelings that she's sitting in that cold. Now I feel like one of my kids are out, lost in the gutter, cold. It's raining. Girl. Yeah, see? Listen, she is a fitness freak. She really is, though, for real. Cold plunge are for like football players. Are you a football player? Christine, do you play for the NFL? If you don't play for the NFL, go get a hot tub. Picks. Who wants picks? Are we talking about feet again? Oh, of the cold tub. Yeah. No, we do not want pictures of that. No, or video. Oh, they are not. No. See, she's a nurse. Okay, just one more really quick time. After she said she was sitting in a cold plunge, we got glad we can make you laugh, and you're bringing property values down. I need to start commenting more on my comments, but I can't because I'll get in trouble. All right, let's go with this one. Same judge. Look at his courtroom, guys. Look how orderly it is. Look at that. And it's quiet.
Called 911 to report her vehicle stolen. She stated.
All right, this is going to be a debate. What do you guys think? I'm not going to tell you what I think. It's easy.
That the defendant then returned shortly after she contacted 911. Complaining witness stated the defendant told her to take her belongings out of the residence. Advised her that if she contacted 911 again,
I can't think that.
due to the defendant, she called 911 again due to the defendant being angry at her and because he had previously assaulted her months ago. She advised us she was not assaulted that day and no visible injuries were observed. She was found to be reliable. Defendant's information was entered, and that's where they found the protective order from the 448. It was active and set to expire on 10/7/24. She was listed the protected person. There was not to be any direct communication, and that's about it.
Okay, so if I heard this correctly, one of the things that I heard is that these two individuals were actually staying together.
I understood that they're living together.
I know.
He says that.
I know. And that I guess technically that's a violation there because the VPOs.
This guy is the star of the show. This guy's words are going to make you scratch your head a tiny bit.
Specifically says no contact whatsoever. I'm looking at the protective order itself, and I do see no communication whatsoever with the complaining witness, no going over to the residence, and no contact whatsoever. So obviously, if they're living together or staying together, there's contact. The charged instrument does say that he was alleged to have been at the residence. Specifically, they say prohibited such communication by communicating, namely living with the complainant at 2152 William Tell Street. Okay.
Here we go.
So he does have a bond, Mr. Harris. I do see a bond that was given to him by the magistrate.
Hello.
Anything in particular that you're approaching on?
Yeah, so.
Yes, very near.
So the manner it means is that he had contact with her by living with her at 2152 William Tell. The address on the protected order, he was excluded from was on Gessner address.
Correct.
So he's not violating the 200 feet restriction. He's violating by communicating by living with her.
That's what the
Manner
charge
it means shouldn't support the charge because, right, the contact requires like an overt act. Usually a communicative act. Living with someone is not like an overt communicative act. Okay, so they're mixing up their manner and means here. They should have alleged that he violated no contact.
Hold on, guys. He's about to make a very, very valid point. But it's a valid point. Are you ready? Listen to this.
By residing with her or going within 200 feet of her residence, even though the address is different, they haven't done that. What they've said is that she violated no contact by having communication, and then their manner and means is not communication.
Well,
lots of married couples who live in the same residence and don't communicate with each other.
That's his
that's a
argument.
fact issue.
Sure, I get that.
And
But what they have to do is they have to articulate facts to show you how that she violated the protective order, the communication, the contact.
I understand. Now,
But they're using the wrong manner and means.
I understand what you're saying. Now, can the court not imply that if a person or a couple is living together, that it could be implicit that they do communicate with each other?
I don't know that you can imply that or infer that from the facts that have been given. Because the other thing is when the officer gets there, the officer doesn't even articulate that they're having contact at that moment. He's not prohibited from being within 200 feet of her. So they could be like in the same store or the same apartment.
As long as they're not within 200 feet.
Well, not even that. Like, it doesn't say he has to stay 200 feet away from her.
Oh, I see. I see what you're correct.
Place of employment or place of training.
Correct. You are correct there.
So they don't connect him to communication. They're alleging that he violated the communication language in the no contact order, but they're not doing that with a manner and means of communication. They're doing it with the manner and means of where he violated the residency restriction. So we can infer and imply that they maybe lived together and communicated about the milk being empty.
Correct.
The state of their relationship, sure, but the state hasn't made that as a manner, or alleged that as a manner and means. I don't think there's probable cause to charge him the way that they charged him. I think they can fix it easily, just not right now, not in here today.
Okay.
So I understand it's a bit of a stretch. I just think that intake they put the wrong manner and means in here.
I understand what you're saying. Now, yes, yes, ma'am.
The complainant did state that the defendant asked her to leave, and pack up her stuff, which is communication.
All right. As you, of course, are aware, Mr. Harris, it's a very low bar that the court needs for probable cause. All I need is reasonable.
You're right. He needs reasonable suspicion that he's breaking a contact order when he lives with her. You're right, Judge. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Suspicion, I know, which is very low, and taking the totality of the circumstances. Now, this is an alleged offense that was alleged to occur October the 4th. Okay, so the court can take into consideration the totality of the circumstances surrounding if there was communication or not. So, as far as the court's concerned, the court does
They
find
really are
probable
weapons.
cause.
But one more thing, Ed.
Sure.
He started unlawfully with knowledge of the issuance of the protective order, intentionally and knowingly communicating with the protected individual. So I think one thing that the court, if you want to talk about implying things and inferring things, that case was dismissed August 28th.
Correct.
And so I think that the court could infer that he's not intending to violate a court's order by any of these alleged acts.
But the even though the case was dismissed, it did not dismiss the protective order.
But we know that as officers of the court
Correct.
deal with these things all the time.
Correct.
Lawyers in other cases, they don't know that kind of thing. And
I understand.
lay people don't often know that.
Okay, that is valid, lawyer. That was a valid point to make to this judge, Any other judge would be like, shut up. Another valid point you could have made, other than, well, they live together, but you can't say they're communicating. Another valid point to make was the protection order expired yesterday. It was over yesterday. And this was just a couple days ago. He could have been like, it's only a couple days. Come on.
I understand that they may not.
I said he was incarcerated that entire time until the case was dismissed on August 28th. So I don't know that he ever even had a conversation one-on-one with an attorney.
Fleischer
Well, he
would have
signed
laughed
it.
right at
Right.
him.
But the court could find no probable cause if the court doesn't believe it. If the court makes an inference or an implication that, or finds that there's an implication that when the case was dismissed, he believed this was all over.
Well, I can't infer that because I don't know what he believed or did not believe. So the only thing that I could take into consideration is he signed the MOAB. I see it right here. Specifically says 61 days. And I cannot infer or take into consideration that he believed that once the case was dismissed, that he was no longer under the, conditions of the MOAB. I can't infer that.
Would you consider him for a PR bond?
No, I can't do a PR bond. Not on a VPO. So, I mean, because under SB 6, I'm prohibited from issuing a personal bond on any type of assaultive or family violence cases. And this is considered a family violence case.
I looked at that. And actually what I read is it's an aggravated or felony.
No,
what I read is any
Yes.
family violence.
Let's go back to 17 and talk. In the interim, would you drop the bond down to 1,000?
This is one of those cases where this is what I believe is going on.
All right. So you listen to this judge patiently listen to this attorney this whole time, right? No other judge would react the way this judge has reacted so far. And here comes the reason why. Get ready.
After the case was dismissed, I have to believe that they got back together. And whoever made contact or issued or decided, hey, let's get back together, it doesn't matter to me. But it's obvious that these individuals have a history, because I see prior assault family members that
she was the complainant in the one that was dismissed in August, but she's not been the complainant in the other ones. I've spoken with his sister this morning. He has absolutely no intention of ever speaking with the complainant again. And I think what seems kind of obvious from the dim summary judge is that she's trying to look for any reason she can to get him arrested. She's saying that he took her car. They're saying, no, he didn't. You gave him permission. She's, I'm glad she admitted that he didn't assault her. But she's trying to find any reason to get him arrested that day. So, and that will come out later on. But I do think that the community can be protected with bond conditions. And
He's got bond conditions.
right, and those will satisfy that law requirement. For
Hold on, he's about to go through the history.
The man has no money. He's supposed to start a job today. He's hoping that he got all of his permits and he works in the refinery, he got all of his training certificates and everything over to the employer. The job is supposed to start today. Still like to be able to keep that.
He's starting a job today. He's going to lose the job. No, Linus, not just a prior. Nope, nope, nope.
That job, you get out.
You know, I'm just leery, and I'll tell you why I'm leery. I see 1, 2 so far. Let me check this out to make sure that I'm not mistaken. Is this on?
I don't see you checking.
Okay, I see 1 assault family member case alleged to have occurred in 2021. I see continuous violence against the family also in 2021. I see another assault family member case 2021. So I see an assault family member case January 2021, continuous violence against the family February 2021, assault family member April 2021. All those were dismissed, it looks like, at the request of the complaining witness. Then I see a violation of protective order in 2023. And in that particular case, out of this court, he pled on it and received 90 days in the county jail. And that particular VPO, let me see if that was on the previous, it probably was, complaining witnesses.
MRP upstairs
Yeah. So that was on the previous.
for Agasol out of the 488th.
Yeah, and I do see a VPO out of this court, March of 2023, that he pled guilty to. Then I see a assault family member, August of this year, that was dismissed, which is the one you talk about. Then an aggravated assault case that was committed also in 2024 that he's currently on probation. And
That's 2021.
let me see. Let me look at the date.
The Office State, yes.
And then we started.
But he pled this year.
I mean, November.
Okay, so your client is 31 years old, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now this is the 7th case involving family violence.
But most of those have been dismissed.
Well, I agree, except the ag assault. The ag assault was not dismissed.
Hold on, you're going to find out why they were dismissed.
Once I get, right, most of them have been. Once we get done with this record,
I know.
there won't be any of those.
Well, those were dismissed at the request of the complaining witness. So I understand.
That's not
I'm
true.
just being
Hold on.
realistic.
That's reason for the defense to dismiss the case.
Well,
Like witness says there's no crime here.
Talk to the state about that one.
All I'm asking just at this point is not to make, you're not gonna give him a PR bond, I understand. But now all we're doing is the amount of money just gonna line the pockets of a bail bond. It's your conditions are what protect the community.
And he does have bond conditions. Well, I don't know if it's protected because he had a court order for violation of a protective order. He had a protective order in place,
Judge, if I may,
and it's been violated.
really quickly.
Yes.
The continuous violence was dismissed as part of the plea deal for the ag assault probation. Same thing for the assault family member misdemeanor from our court back in December 2023. The VPO order, then that was a guilty plea.
Right.
Then the last one is the only one that has been dismissed for request of the complaining witness from this year.
So he did do them. They were dismissed as a package, as a plea deal.
August.
Now, in regards to the ag assault, that he was alleged to have committed.
He doesn't even click loud. Click, click, Judge. Click, click, click. Type.
He had $100,000 bond. He was in custody when he pled, right? That's the process. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Then he had a VPO, which he also had a prior violation of protective order that he pled on. And
that one in the charges.
Why is it red?
well, on that particular case,
Every other word is capitals.
I don't know if he was in custody.
So it's getting a little loud in his courtroom, but it's not like noisy loud. It's still like very muted loud. It's like a library court.
All that time or not. He also had a $10,000 bond.
My dyslexia is like not working with it.
Let's see, you got out on the case to resolve. August 28th.
I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. I am just not comfortable in lowering the bond because he's got history, and that's one of the things that the court takes into consideration is the history that the individual has. I understand what you're saying about the safety.
This is courtroom 13, so it's probably on the same floor as Judge Fleischer. They court 10 that he was at the other day in Juanita's court, that's probably on the same floor because it's a huge building. These are Judge Fleischer is in one of 16 criminal courts in that building. And this is courtroom, I can't remember, I just said it, 13, 14.
Community, and he does have bond conditions, but he's had those bond conditions on the other cases. He's had bond conditions on the 3 previous assault family members. He's had bond conditions on the other assault family members that were dismissed. He had bond conditions on the ag assault, and now he's got these bond conditions. And those bond conditions.
Tina, evacuate. Listen, you've been told. You can't say no one told you. Evacuate right now. You have time. Just go. Go.
Didn't seem to have helped him because he violated specifically a warrant.
But if you want, when you talk about violations, this is not a violation where he's threatening or somebody's harassing.
I agree with you. I agree with you there.
You're not even saying that you went over to her place of residence. You're just saying that you communicated with her and it was in a non-threatening, lawful way.
That's the way the charging instrument says.
So I just want to see if we can get any relief on the 10,000.
I'm not going to lower it. I'm sorry. I'm not comfortable. Okay. You're welcome. Mr. Morgan.
Judge, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm good, thanks.
Judge,
Leave.
I have a young lady that is not on your court today.
Okay.
Just finished trial.
So yeah, he's no Judge Fleischer, but his attorney tried very, very hard. Very, very hard. Saying the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Oh man, okay. So I slept too much today and I didn't cut this clip. So we're gonna find the clip together. Maybe just turn the volume down a pinch for a second, I think would be the best idea. Because we're going to California and their audio is on point. Okay. I gotta find her.
And count.
There she is.
1001.36 on this one.
Your Honor, we have all the medical records that suggest that she has suffered from qualifying disabilities. However, we do not have a plan in place to make sure that she takes her medication, which is the problem. Originally, when she first had the psychosis back in February of 23,
This one is a slow burn, so hang in there, guys.
what the doctors recommended was that she take her medication, and they were going to have outpatient services available to monitor that. The last report that we got suggests that if she doesn't take her medication,
Judge
then
Fleischer's
she
on
might
the
be a
9th
danger to
floor.
others, but
She's up on the
there's
13th.
no plan in place for anyone to monitor her taking her medications.
You know, and funny, I reviewed this and I thought the same thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
That's amazing, Tina. 6 months, yo. Thank you so much. You can't get any of that time back.
what we're going to do today, though, with the court's permission, is we're going to waive the preliminary examination. We still want to proceed with not with our motion today, because we're going to work on developing a plan where someone will be monitoring her medications. However, we also, I think, wasn't it also on for OR review? Because we had
I skipped it because I
started
can't
her-
pronounce
We
that.
had asked for an OR,
Mr.
and the
Ensley.
court had talked about having her husband here. So if the court had
Oh.
any questions of
Yeah,
him,
there's a bail review. But is he here?
yes, he is
But
here.
if, I don't understand, because you said nobody's going to ensure that she takes the meds, but you said that you have somebody here? That doesn't make sense.
For the OR, and her husband is prepared to take responsibility for that, for making sure that she takes her medication. But I'm not sure that would be sufficient for the court. I thought there had to be some medical provider that would be monitoring.
Right.
Although he has been in touch with BHRS, and they told him if she comes down there, they will treat her, and he's prepared to do that as well.
Okay, so we'll call it on the record and then Mr. Serrato can give me his position too. All right, let's call Kimberly Fung, CR 23-13689. Ms. Fung is present in custody with Mr. Martinez. Mr. Serrato is here for the people. This is on for preliminary hearing. Mr. Martinez.
Your Honor, at this time, we are going to waive the preliminary hearing today. We're prepared to proceed to arraignment on any information on the top charges she currently has.
Okay.
I advised Mr. Serrato that was our intention.
Oh,
See,
I
did
I
something-
wasn't
Not
aware.
waiving our,
You see?
withdrawing our motion under,
Okay.
I don't point out my friends' mistakes. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
the mental health diversion motion that we had previously filed.
All right.
And then we were going to be asked permission to again argue for her release on her own recognizance.
Okay.
Xochitl. There, we did it. Thank you. Thank you, Allie. One thing you can say about this woman right here is she has dedication and she never forgets. Never. Wait till
Okay.
you hear.
So ma'am, before I allow you to waive the preliminary hearing, I want to advise you of your constitutional rights. You do have a constitutional right to the preliminary hearing, and that would concern all any enhancements or the charges themselves. You have the
Me
right to be
too.
represented by an attorney at all stages of the proceedings. You have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, at which time the prosecution, well, excuse me, we're not even talking about the jury trial. At the preliminary hearing, let me tell you about your rights. You, of course, have the right to an attorney. You also have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses against you, which means you have the right to see, hear, and through your attorney, question any witnesses testifying against you. You have a right to present evidence and have the court issue subpoenas to bring to court witnesses and evidence favorable to you and at no cost to you. You have a right to testify on your own behalf
Hey,
or
Steve.
remain silent and not incriminate yourself, and have the DA prove the case if they can beyond a reasonable doubt. And so I want to make sure that you understand each of these rights. Yes? And because if you're going to waive your right to a preliminary hearing, you're going to be giving up these rights as to all the charges. Count 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are all charges of attempted arson of a structure or inhabited property, or in the cases of count 2 and 3, it looks like cars. And in count 4 also. So count 1 is attempted arson of a house or a residence, 321 Summer Flocks Lane in Patterson. Count 2 concerns attempted arson of a GMC Yukon. Count 3 of an Audi sedan. And count 4 of a GMC Sierra Denali. And all cases are alleged to have occurred on December 7th of 2023, all these felonies. So do you understand your rights?
What the charges are. You're not being told to do it, just go to the next stage where they would set a trial.
Yes. Yes, okay. And the people are wishing to waive this preliminary hearing too, Mr. Serrato?
Yes, Your Honor, we also waive our right to a preliminary examination.
Mr. Martinez, anything else you'd like to say concerning the waiver?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to find that the defendant, Ms. Fung, has personally and through her attorney has waived her right to preliminary examination, and you do consent to her waiving it, correct?
Yes, and for the record, Your Honor, before we sat down, I had gone back and I spoken to her about waiving the preliminary examination, the reasons for it, and the rights she would be giving up.
Okay, so Mr. Martinez joins in her waiver of the preliminary examination. Mr. Serrato has consented to the waiver. It is ordered that the defendant be held to answer to the complaint on file. And that is counts 1 through 4. I'll note there are circumstances in aggravation, but those don't apply to the preliminary hearing. All 4 of the counts happened on December 7th of 2023. All are charges of 664/451 per NB, attempted arson. The first one concerns 321.
Huma huma nuku nuku apawa'a.
Huma huma nuku nuku apawawa.
Summer Flocks Lane in Patterson. Count 2 is GMC Yukon. Count 3 is an Audi sedan, and count 4 concerns a GMC Sierra Denali. So we'll show that the defendant has waived her right to preliminary hearing. At this point, should we put it over, Mr. Serrato, or I suppose we could arraign her at this point, but I think the people probably want to file an information.
Yes, Your Honor, we prefer to file a separate information.
Okay. And the people will not be adding any counts. Okay, so Mr. Martinez. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, in due course.
Okay, so we'll set this 2 weeks, which is October 21 at 8:30 in this department.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah? Okay,
They stopped her because they had a ring
all
camera.
right. And is time remains waived? Or I guess it's, no.
Your
We'll
Honor,
put it over for
we'll take
information.
that up at the arraignment.
Okay,
It's gonna be back here in this department anyway.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
sir? Yes. And Your
Okay.
Honor, again, we would like to address the issue of her
Okay.
status. We're asking for an OR release.
I do show this was on bail or OR review for their bail review for this week. Okay, we can begin
OR?
with the bail hearing then at this point. She has just been held to answer. Her bail is currently at 525,000. I assume that's based on the charges.
I believe so.
Yeah, let's see.
He's going from $500,000 bail down to an OR? Is he nuts? Maybe he was speaking to that last attorney.
So, Mr. Serrano, based on these 4 counts, each one carries a, well, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I want to clarify something. Count 1 is an attempted 451 paren B as in boy. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are 451 paren D as in David. So I want to make that clear. The counts 2, 3, and 4 are a little different than count 1. I don't know if I specified that as part of the preliminary hearing waiver. Having that in mind,
I think the court did.
Did I say it
differentiate
correctly?
Between each count, 1 was
Okay.
the residential
Okay,
and 3 were vehicles.
okay. Because 1 carries a bail schedule of 300,000. 2, 3, and 4 are 75,000 each.
Arson.
That's how we got to 525 as bail, it looks like.
Okay.
Okay. Did all these items belong to different people, the cars and the house, or was it all one person's property?
One family.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead. You had something you wanted to say, Mr. Martinez.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
All of the activity surrounding this incident stemmed from her delusions that she was suffering at the time of the incident. This was not the first time something like this had happened. The first time that this happened was in February of 23, where she suffered the same type of delusions. She was prescribed medications, which she didn't take. However, the delusions that she was suffering were that her neighbors were out to get her. She thought that they were going to try to kill her. She ended up attempting suicide. And then this incident happened in December, again, where she thought the neighbors were out to hurt her. And then she came back and committed these acts while she was suffering from the delusions. As the court may be aware of from the prior evaluations that have been done on Ms. Fung, she was in a state of mind where she could not separate her delusions from reality. And that caused her to be in fear and to take the actions that she did, not because anyone had done anything to her, but because of the delusions that she was suffering from made her think that that was a reality. Now, after having been in custody for the last 10, she has been prescribed medication that take away.
All right, what's the address? So no more Los Manos for you?
Mr. Bradford, can you mute it? Thank you. Thank you.
So now, after being in custody for 10 months and being evaluated and assessed by different local psychologists, they have prescribed medication that seems to take care of the problems that she was having. She's no longer suffering from delusions based on the last report that we got, and with taking care of that problem, I think addresses the issue of safety concerns for the public. All of them seem to suggest that unless she takes her medications, the danger could reoccur. So it's a maximum importance that she continue to take her medications, not only to remain competent to stand trial, but also so that she's not a danger to herself or to others. Her husband is in court today. He is prepared to take responsibility for taking her over to BHRS. He's already talked to them about what they could do for her, and they're advising him, and he can speak to that as to exactly what he's been told by BHRS. And that's what we intend to do, have her released into his custody, and then he's going to transport her over to BHRS so that they can monitor her prescribed medication intake. That's what has to be done to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
So she would be living at BHRS or at home?
I think that she would be just assessed at BHRS, and they would create a plan for them to monitor her medications. But with her being in custody, they're not going to create a plan for her being in custody. But if he goes over there, if he's a walk-in, then they will address that issue and they will create a plan.
I thought you were coming up with a plan for the 1001.36 anyway. Would that involve BHRS, or who's that going to involve?
We've called them and they said that she has to be brought in. We can't bring her in, but if she's released to her husband, he can take her there. And again, he's been in touch with them about bringing her over for an assessment, and maybe he could explain it better. Mr. Fung?
Yeah.
Okay, come on forward, sir.
Mr. Fung, you've been to BHRS, is that correct?
I have contacted actually the county and BHRS, yes, correct.
And have you explored with them a treatment plan for Ms. Fung?
Yes.
And what was the treatment plan that you discussed with them?
Well, Your Honor, every place, as far as the outpatient therapy, they require the individual to be actually walked into the facility, the medical facility. They won't do nothing. I contacted actually BHRS, the county welfare.
Hold that thought, Nan, because it won't help. Hold that thought.
When this happened, maybe 7 months ago, and they say the same thing. They said that does the court not know that the legalities or what to do in these steps? I was like, I'm not even an attorney to explain that. Well, the only way she's able to get insurance is that she can't be incarcerated, right? Because she's technically a homeless person down here. Because she doesn't reside here. We reside in Washington State, Your Honor. And that's part of the issue. But they did, I think, when I spoke to the
They reside in Washington State.
representative, it's actually the welfare
These are her old neighbors.
places across the detention center in Stanislaus County too. And so they told me you could take her there and apply, and then she could actually get assessed into the facility itself. And so that way that she would be able to get treatment.
Stanislaus, California.
Okay, Mr. Sarda, do you have questions for Mr. Fung?
I don't know.
So this was committed in December of 23. How did it even come to be? Mr. Fung, were you here? Well, I probably shouldn't be asking that.
I've been here many times, Your Honor.
No, so I mean, I'm just, if you live in, Mr. Martinez, I'm confused if they live in Washington, you know, somehow this happened here, somehow she was charged with an offense here, but I don't want to.
Neighbors, Judge.
Oh, okay.
We resided here before, Your Honor. Yeah, we
Oh, I see.
moved to Washington State where my family's from.
Got it.
That's why
Okay.
we relocated back home when we were having these issues with her health. And then so
So you moved after she was arrested?
we moved before she was arrested, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we moved before, not after.
It actually made two moves because she suffered the same kind of activity in Stockton back in 23. And she was experiencing delusions with the neighbor that they had at that time. So they moved, Mr. Fung moved to Patterson to get away from that neighbor. And then she started having the same type of delusions with the new neighbor. So then they moved again to be with his family so they could have some help and support.
All right.
Let me explain. So she moved. She lived beside these people. She had delusions. So she moved to a different state. And then one day she woke up, got in her car, drove to a different state to set their house and car on fire and cars on fire.
Mr. Serrano, what are your objections?
We're opposed to the release, Your Honor. There's been previous motions to reduce the bail or for OR. The court's denied it. Certainly doesn't mean we can't hear it again. However, there's certainly mental health issues at play here, but there's also a level of sophistication that is somewhat alarming. And then the gravity, coupled with the gravity of the offense. Again, these are strike charges. These are 1275C charges, which require unusual circumstances for the court to deviate from below the bail schedule. Here, Ms. Fung and her husband.
Bill's here, guys. Bill, I'm so sorry. I am a jerk. I am sorry. I really didn't know. I had no idea. I'm just sorry. Back to work.
Had lived in Patterson. They left Patterson. They moved to Washington State. She flew back to California the day before this incident. This incident took place on December the 7th of 2023. The day before, she went to a Party City store in Modesto to purchase a mask she used to conceal her face during this incident. She already, in that same day, she went over to the victim's house and spray painted some graffiti derogatory towards them around their house as well. Then the next day, and she's here in California in a hotel room. She went on December the 7th. She went to Walmart, it's according to her own admission, to purchase new clothing so that her former neighbor would not be able to identify her when she went to his house. She wanted to confront him. She bought a gas can. She also had a lighter as well. She went to her former neighbor's house, drove by multiple times in an effort to scout to see if anybody was around, if anybody would see her. She finally went back feeling that it was safe to go. She put on the clothes that she had purchased to disguise herself. She covered her vehicle's license plate. She put drapes on her car as well to kind of cover the windows and hide her for a little bit. She left the car. She walked up to the front door, and then on the victim's ring video, she grabs a gas can. She walks towards the resident. She throws gasoline on the cars. She walks to the front door. She throws gasoline on the front door. And at that point, there were multiple people inside the house. And Gustavo Camacho, who's one of the homeowners, he came out and stopped her.
What's their relationship? Her relationship to the victim's house and the victim?
Former neighbors.
Okay.
And then she had some thoughts that he in the past had abused her or done something. Apparently, I think even by Mr. Martinez's admission, and I would agree with him, the delusions, but nevertheless, pretty alarming behavior. She traveled all the way from Washington State, engaged in approximately 2 days of planning, took efforts to disguise herself, and then doused the front of their house and their vehicles with gasoline.
And her husband, you were with her on that trip?
No.
Here? Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's what
Not to the house, but on the,
Yeah, she left Washington State alone without him.
Okay, just remember, this guy's asking for an OR bond.
okay, got it.
I believe that she came here for the death of an acquaintance, a very close friend of hers. Her
Okay.
mother had passed away, and she came alone for that. And then she was overcome with her delusions while she was here. There were triggers that they talk about in the different psychological examinations. There are things that could trigger these panic attacks based on the delusions that she was suffering. And all of this happened because of the delusions, which are now being treated with the proper medication. She's been taking that medication ever since she's been in custody, and they've analyzed her again, and they've come to find out that the medication is working. Now, and when they talk to her about the medication, she seems to think that makes her sleep better. Doesn't realize that it's actually a psychotic medication, but nonetheless, she's taking everything that they ask her to take. And so long as she takes that medication, and that's why it's so important that she be monitored. Because as long as she's monitored and as long as she's taking that medication, she's okay. She doesn't suffer from these delusions that cause her to feel threatened by her neighbors.
So I think that we're getting into the plan area of this. I think one of the things that we discussed, I don't remember if it was on the record or off the record, but we were not going to proceed on the 1001.36 today because there's not a plan yet in place to ensure and monitor that she's taking the medications. You have now asked me during the bail hearing to accept that her husband will be this person as if he were the plan, not for 1001.36 purposes, but for purposes of releasing her on her OR.
That's just so that she can go to the place where they're going to put a plan into place, Judge. She's not just going to be released.
She's taking it now because she thinks it's a sleep aid.
The whole purpose of releasing her to her husband is so that he can take her to the HRS where they can do a plan for her to be monitored.
Okay.
He's not suggesting that he's going to be the one that makes sure, but he's going to transfer her from jail to the program.
But that would be an outpatient program, not an inpatient program, even if they accepted her, which they haven't yet.
And all the records that I've reviewed, there's been a suggestion that it could be either an inpatient or an outpatient.
It would be nice to have that set up, but I know it's a chicken and egg scenario because he's talking about they won't do anything without her being in custody. So I get it.
Say more about chicken and eggs, please.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Serrato?
No, you are.
Okay, anything else? A minute? Okay. Yeah, I think at this point, the court, given the recitation of facts that Mr. Serrato gave, this was a pretty sophisticated crime. I don't think the court has any choice but to determine this defendant is a danger to public safety or a victim.
It sounded very good. It sounded like not my chicken pot pie, but other normal chicken pot pie.
Given what happened in this crime, I haven't heard yet the 1001.36 motion to know all the circumstances, whether it affected her or her mental condition affected her or not, or any sort of DSM condition. But it was clearly very high sophistication, this crime, what it involved based on all the details that Mr. Serrato conditioned.
Whoops. I just pressed back 10 seconds by accident because I did. I absolutely did. You put these veggies in it. Okay. That's good.
But it was clearly very high sophistication, this crime, what it involved based on all the details that Mr. Serrato just gave at this point. And those details certainly, you know, when the defendant waives the preliminary hearing, the court doesn't get to hear all that. But when Mr. Serrato recites it all, there were a lot of details. So the court certainly has its concern. Is the defendant safe to release with conditions? Well, at the time, apparently she came out here, Mr. Martinez says, for a perfectly legitimate condition, but yet all this happened during that period and husband was not monitoring her. Maybe he didn't need to come out here because it wasn't his friend or whatever the occasion was, but I certainly have concerns about his ability.
You know why Hardee's has good chicken? I don't know if they still have the same chicken, but when I was back in the 80s, I worked at Roy Rogers. It was a chicken place, Roy Rogers. I hope you remember it because their chicken was so good. Hardee's bought Roy Rogers and took their chicken and biscuits. Yep, I used to make biscuits from scratch and they were so good. And then Hardee's bought them. I hope it's the same chicken. I hope it's the same biscuits because back in the 80s, we made them perfect.
To monitor her. So I'm not going to find there are any restrictions necessarily that can prevent her from any sort of dangerous conduct. The other thing that has to go into my decision is I was looking at the report from the Certificate of Restorations filed on August 30th, 2024. And what the lead or what the psychologist cites in the report is that Ms. Fung does not believe that she has ever been mentally ill, but he then guessed that she has a mental illness of delusions. And she did not appear convinced. She believed that the medications were prescribed merely for depression. She was uncertain if she actually needed it. Then later he says, given the nature of her mental illness, she may decompensate from current levels of functioning if she discontinues the medication and may once again become incompetent to stand trial as a result.
PA.
It seems that we have her at a good point right now, and ensuring that she continues to take her medication is paramount in this case. And to send her to a different state with her husband and not have a plan in place to this court seems pretty dangerous. So at this time, I'm going to find that this defendant is a danger to public safety and she is not safe to release with conditions, given she doesn't seem to think she necessarily needs these medications. I don't know how easy she would be to convince by her husband that she does, but to send her to another state without a plan of monitoring in place to this court just doesn't seem safe. So I'm going to deny the motion at this time and find clear and convincing evidence there is no less restrictive condition sufficient. I'm going to leave the bail what it is at $525,000. Do you want to come back for a hearing on the 1001.36, Mr. Martinez? How long? But I want to give you enough time to get a decent plan in place. So you tell me.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we come back for the arraignment and we'll set it at that time?
All right. I'll see you October 21 then at 8:30 in this department. Sir, thank you for coming here and telling the court your testimony.
I mean, I don't,
It's-
I guess.
it's okay.
That's how big freedom plan.
I'm going to leave that to you and Mr. Martinez. I can't give you advice. I'm not allowed to. No, the court is not allowed to offer advice. So I'll give it to Mr. Martinez. Oh, Mr. Tao and Mr. Bradford.
No, we prefer to wear clothing when we go out for a burger. You can keep the Whataburgers there. All right. I have no idea what's going to happen to this lady, and I'm not going to promise that I'm going to get this on the 21st. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But, whew, she's way far away. She's way far away from me, so I don't have to worry about it. She's on the other side. She could fly here, but I'm not her neighbor, so she won't burn down my house while I'm in it. While we're in the house, she tried to burn down the house. I think that's it. Let me just double check. Yep. It's time, guys. It's time.
Ready to roll, nerds? Let's roll, nerds.
Let's roll, nerds.
Page 3, Ortega.
Yeah. Morning. Stephen, good weekend?
Oh, yeah, always.
Thanks.
How about yourself, Your Honor?
She bought a plane ticket, rented a car, bought a disguise, blocked the vehicle tags and the windows. She went the first day with a can of spray paint and spray painted all around their house. Then she went back to her hotel room, went to bed, woke up, got gasoline, walked around to the cars, dumped gasoline all over the cars, walked up to the front door, dumped gasoline all over the front door where the Ring camera caught her. And that guy flew out of the house and stopped her from lighting his world on fire.
So you're good. Miss Artiga?
And they wanted to know our bond.
Page 3, Ortega.
Good morning, Miss Artiga.
Good morning.
And you charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
I was wondering why everybody was saying that his cameras were all blurry today, but they are. They weren't wrong. I was on my phone, so I couldn't see. But yeah, his cameras, both cameras are a little wonky today.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
Officers were dispatched to a minor single vehicle crash in Harris County, Texas. Officers spoke with a wheel witness who said that he saw the defendant in her car driving the wrong way down a one-way street, swerving out of the way of oncoming vehicles and crashing into a curb. The defendant admitted to drinking, and the officer observed red eyes and unsteady balance. Standard field sobriety tests were performed. HGN was 6 out of 6. Walk and turn was 6 out of 8. One leg stand was 3 out of 4. The DIC was red, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were .194 and .194.
Any priors?
No, Your Honor.
License? Oh, okay. Ms. Artiga, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? You don't have insurance?
There was insurance on it. There was insurance on it.
No, I want to know if you are insured, not the vehicle. I need to know that you are insured and no driving until you have car insurance in your name. Do you understand? So that if you drove here, you may not drive home. I'm making it a condition of your bond. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or dope, and I don't care where it comes from, I will
Last night I had a dream that my son beat Magnus Carlsen.
revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand?
Yes.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive until you have insurance. Once you have insurance, just show it to us and then we'll allow you to drive. But until that point, and until you are covered, no driving.
Yes, Your Honor. I also do not have. She doesn't have a vehicle right now, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, was it?
It was her
damaged?
grandparents.
Sorry to get.
It was her grandparents' vehicle.
Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel. She will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If she tells me that you're playing games, not responding to phone calls or text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds if you pick up any new cases or start driving or do something that you're not supposed to. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We'll have you sign the affidavit. We'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. You'll get with Rachel free bond conditions. Then you're free to go. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Take care.
At chess.
Takers, come on up. Page 1.
Beat him.
That's out of your pocket. I understand you're trying to hold up your pen.
This guy.
But you can hold them up. Just don't keep your
Back are we? Are you on something right now, Mr. Akers?
No, I'm stressed out. I'm like, I come from I was gonna talk of a service, but I come from like deep kind of breakdown. Sorry.
Mr. Akers, you stand charged with the offense of criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. Also was dispatched to Houston Recovery Center in Harris County, Texas, in response to a welfare check. Earlier that day, the defendant had been dropped off at the center and became very angry. The defendant began yelling and throwing his shoes at the staff. The defendant walked into a room and closed the door. While inside, the defendant punched the glass door, shattering it. The defendant was also throwing things around the room and hit his head against the wall and the doors. The defendant also urinated in the corner. The complaining witness estimates the cost to repair the glass door to be $1,000 at the Houston Recovery Center.
What? That was a secret. It's too late now. Are you getting a dog? What kind of dog? Fozzie. Fozzie, where are you? Are you getting a dog? Get out of the bathroom, Fozzie. Come here.
I would imagine that he's just not welcome back there. Have you?
I spoke with the recovery center. They said that he's now on a no
Chicken Popeye.
Mr. Akers, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with you because I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system and how we're going to proceed forward. Look at me.
Now that like I have drugs in my system.
Yeah, it's time to stop. You are so geeked out now on something. What?
Stress. My life is stress. I know I messed up. Like what you see of me is remorse for doing something I know is stupid. And like
I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen well. I will give you but one opportunity to get off the dope by yourself. If I find that you're using whatever it may be, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility in the jail. I will give you one opportunity to try to get off these demons yourself. But if I find that you continue to use, I'm going to keep you with me. No more dope. I'm sending you now for a drug test. You must take the test and come right back. If you fail to take, look at me. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I will take away the PR bonds and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. You have to understand, you don't, unless you do, I would imagine that you have no one that's willing to pony up $5,000 to get you out. Am I right? Consider that when you're out there in the free world, because if I put you in jail, even at $1,000 bond, you probably don't have anyone that's going to make it. You're going to sit there. Make wise choices. You get one opportunity. Are we clear? Okay. I want to send him. I'll have him come right back and we'll go from there. And then can you reach out to the next one, please? All right. Can you please file the conditions? Well, don't worry. Don't even worry about it. So no going back to the Houston Recovery Center, no weapons.
I got you.
Oh, Pataglia, come up, please.
I hunt you. You're here every day, and we know nothing about you. Nothing. Does anybody know any? I hunt you. You need to talk to us. Tell us something. What color is your hair?
Good morning, Mr. Bataglia. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're also charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot.
How's the fam doing? Did you have fun? I never have fun with my family. So when you said you were going to be with your family tonight, whew,
Ward one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Also dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated she had been in a dating relationship with the defendant for approximately 1.5 years, and on the day of the incident, the defendant was supposed to pick her up from work at 1 p.m. However, the defendant showed up at 11:30, and when the complainant refused to leave work early, the defendant became irate. The defendant began sending her threatening text messages while outside her work and called her, stating, "When I see you, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to kill you." The complainant's brother picked her up from work, and the following day, the defendant told the complainant he was going to come beat her up. The complainant also stated that on August 31st, she picked up the defendant as he was walking home from a friend's house while intoxicated. And while the two were driving home,
I zoned out. Say that. What?
I'm sorry. On August 31st, the complainant picked up the defendant while he was walking home intoxicated from a friend's house. And the defendant struck her while they were driving with a closed fist on her nose, causing swelling, bleeding, and pain. The complainant showed a dated timestamp photo of the injury to the officers, and the defendant admitted to making threats and stated he was going through opioid withdrawals.
Good to know. Mr. Bataglia, if I drug test you now, what are you going to show positive for?
Marijuana and maybe opiates. So that's about it.
It stops today. If I find that you're using anything, I will have a contempt hearing because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit. I can hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it. Shh. Guys, please, he can't hear. If I find that you're using, I will put you into a rehab facility in the jail. And I'm going to tell you now, it's a 6-month program at a minimum, depending on how well you respond to treatment. No more opiates. And I'm going to test you like crazy. You will be coming here on a constant basis to show me that you're not using. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no opioids, nothing, no weapons. And I'm also ordering you not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case as well. Do you have a GPS monitor on you right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Pennsylvania is your evacuation zone.
Let's do this. I want to send him for a drug test right now as well. How old are you, sir?
25.
What do you do for a living?
DoorDash, and I recently got another job with pulling and terminating cat cables. And that's all.
Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance? Please. Can we reach out to the MAC for Mr. Battaglia? I'm going to send you for a drug test, and then I'm going to have you come back. We'll talk when we get the lawyer assigned to him. No, don't take it off just yet. Leave it on for now. Right. Let's just send him for a drug test, and then we'll have him talk to the lawyer when we get back, and then we'll go from there.
I just want to know if that's cool.
I'm sending you for a drug test. You must take the test. Come right back. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to make both of your bonds so high, you're going to have teeth falling out. Okay. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. You're going to get with your Rachel, and then I'll see you back in half an hour.
Compton, page 9.
Rach, are you leaving or are you, what time you got to jet today? What time are you leaving today? Okay. Did you say his license was valid? Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
Okay. What page?
Page 9.
If you are in Florida, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say to you other than get out of Florida. Look at this. It's freaking humongous. It's huge. You can go anywhere else right now. You could just go. I have no other words than the picture.
Compton.
Chad Compton. Mr. Compton, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas, in response to a family disturbance. Officers met with the complainant, the defendant's sister, who lives with the defendant. The complainant told the officers that the defendant was angry with the complainant regarding something she posted on social media.
You can't still be in Florida, Bill, because you are way too smart. You're the one that makes fun of people for staying when they should have evacuated. You're not the one who stays and says, oh, yeah, I'm going to ride this one out. I've been through hurricanes before. It's fine. You're probably somewhere up in Georgia eating peaches.
And the defendant struck her on the left cheek with an open palm and a closed fist on the right side of her head, causing pain.
So it's sister.
Yes, Your
Okay. Mr. Compton, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? Are you here with anyone today? So where are you living now?
With another family.
So you're not living at the same house sister is? Okay. I'm finding probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with your sister in this case, and not to be in possession of weapons. If you violate these conditions, I will revoke your bond. I'm going to make it high. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
I've been to Jacksonville so
A
many
protective
times.
order was issued on this case. I would
Hundreds of
suggest that you
times.
get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, even if they authorize, like your sister calls you, go, hey man, come on over to the house, and you go into the house listed here, you're still in violation. State can and will file additional charges against you. They can charge a violation of a protective order, and then it will really go sideways quick. So be careful when you're out there. So what do you do for a living, Mr. Compton?
I just moved there from Louisiana, but I was currently searching for a job. I just moved down. My mom been down here for a minute, so I just moved down here.
Did you graduate from high school?
Family, a
You need a
lifetime ago.
job. You need to do something to occupy your time. When you have too much time in your hands, you become self-destructive. You start doing things that you shouldn't be doing. So I'm making that also a condition of your bond. You need to get a full-time job or go back into school full-time. Do you understand? I'm going to provide you a lawyer today, but I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks. I want to see what you have done to get a job. I'm not going to let you smoke weed and play Xbox all day and not be a productive member to this society. You must get a job full-time. If you come back in
California.
2 weeks and you have done nothing, life's not going to go well. Do you understand? Okay. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box. So we get your bond conditions. No more smoking dope. No more weed. I'm going to test you 40 days from today. If I find that you're smoking weed after 40 days, that tells me that you've continued to smoke, and I will revoke the bond and put you in jail. Do you understand? If you stop smoking weed as of today, in 40 days, when I test you, it should be a negative. If it's a positive that tells you that you continue to smoke, and I don't care what you come here telling me, someone else was smoking in a house, you took an accidental gummy, I don't care. Do you understand? No smoking weed.
I have
All right,
no
come on.
idea what he looks like. None.
David, Justin, page 11.
Okay. Justin Davis. Is that you? Mr. Davis, you're charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The complainant was jogging at White Oak Bayou Park in Harris County, Texas, and the complainant observed the defendant naked and masturbating next to a pool located inside Stewart Park. The complainant could see the defendant's penis, which was an open view of anyone walking on the trail. The officers arrived and observed the defendant sitting near the pool without pants and underwear and continuing to masturbate.
Yeah, you're right.
Is he currently registered as a sex offender? Can you see that now?
I can check, Your Honor. Your Honor, we can't find the information at this time. We'd have to make a call to the officer to find that he is registered. But at this time, we don't have that information.
Prior felony failures to register, you know? So what kind of conditions would you think? Michael?
Judge, I don't know the status of the housing of the defendant, but at this time, the state would ask for staying away from public places where children will go, like parks where the defendant was, staying away from schools, parks, public places, anywhere where children may go, is what I would ask.
No, I'm gonna have to
How
buy
old
a
are you, Mr.
nutcracker.
Davis? You're 41. What do you do for a living? So where do you live?
I live in a tent, my dog,
You live in the where?
in a tent.
He's homeless and lives in the tent.
I know, Judge.
And the problem is that this is not our first indecent exposure. This is not our first failure to register. So I'm going to appoint your lawyer today and I'm going to see where we're going because I don't know what conditions we can put to protect the public from.
The issue, Judge, is the underlying registered case is an indecency of a child from 2004, and that's why I'm harping on you staying away from children.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do a deep dive on this. So I'm gonna have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then I'm gonna have you take your seat in the jury box. Don't go anywhere, Mr. Davis, please.
Okay, no problem.
All right, go ahead and sign for your recess. Galvin? Benito? Gonzalez, Francisco? Page 18.
Francisco Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, you're charged with failure to stop and give information. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to Beltway 8 in Harris County, Texas, in response to a failure to stop and give information report. The complainant told the officers that the defendant was merging across several lanes of traffic and hit the complainant's driver's side mirror. The complainant indicated to the defendant to pull over in a nearby gas station, which the defendant did, but the defendant quickly left the scene. The complainant briefly followed the defendant and got in front of him at a light. The defendant tried to pull around the complainant, and the defendant struck the complainant's bumper. Officers found the defendant and initiated a traffic stop. The defendant admitted to hitting the complainant's vehicle.
No stated reason why.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
I had a.
Stop. Do you have a driver's license from anywhere? You are not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising you're not going to drive. Mr. Gonzalez, I want you to understand that if anything in this short life that we have, anything really chaps my behind anymore, it's then when people drive without a license and insurance. And if there's no quicker way for you to get to jail on a lengthy stay, than to get into a car and drive without a license and insurance after signing this affidavit. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
17.
You are 17 years old. What do you do for a living?
I work at AutoZone. Started working.
Tell me, are you a citizen of the United States? You are a citizen?
Sir.
Are you here with anyone today?
My mom dropped me off.
This is an affidavit that you're signing right now, promising me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, and I don't care what your reason is, I can have a contempt hearing, hold you in contempt, and every time you drive, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine. I don't care what your excuse is. Do
Watermelon.
not drive. Do you understand?
Sir.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer? A court-appointed lawyer. Your other options, you need a lawyer, 100%. So you can either go hire a lawyer or you can apply for court-appointed lawyer. Okay. If I drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for?
Probably, I don't know. Nothing.
I'm salty enough.
If I drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for?
Thinking back, I went to a party.
I don't care where you went.
Probably marijuana.
I'm sending you for a drug test now.
Yes, sir.
Gonzalez, you must take the drug test. You must
I wanna
come
go
right
to a
back. If
party.
you fail to do either, I will revoke your bond and issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
When you come back, we will talk about giving you a lawyer. But take the test, come right back. Have you signed the affidavit and then we'll send you for a test, sir.
I put salt on my cantaloupe, but never on my watermelon. Well, sometimes on my watermelon, but it's rare. This is a party. You're doing it wrong.
Vic, you.
Page 28, Ramirez.
Are you Anna Ramirez? Yes. Ms. Ramirez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you're not afford one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On September 29, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, officers initiated a traffic stop on a blue SUV for driving at night with all the vehicle lights off and failing to use turn signals at the stop sign. The vehicle came to a complete stop and the officers made contact with the defendant. The defendant was observed to have strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from her person, and the defendant stated she came from a bar and consumed 4 to 5 Michelob
In California, they have neighbors that'll keep you really warm.
Ultra beers. She then stated she consumed 6 beers of Michelob Ultra, and while detained, the officers also noticed slurred speech and an unsteady balance. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN was 4 out of 6. Walk and turn was 4 out of 8, and one leg stand was 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to provide breath and blood. The defendant was taken to JPC and breath was attempted, but the test could not be completed. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
As long as you have both, you can continue to drive. I am ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or
I'm awake.
unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming any kind of alcohol or dope, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You understand? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll get the rate for your bond conditions. And after that, you're free to go. No more alcohol. And if you like your license, get on finding a lawyer quick because there's a lot of timing requirements. So don't sit and wait a month or two because you're only hurting yourself. All right? Please.
Galvan, Benito,
Oh, Jones.
page 15, Judge, TSA.
Wait, are we starting THAs now? We're done with the arraignments?
Not yet.
No, I want to help the lawyers first before we get to THAs, please. So we'll do this one and then.
Actually, these court cases would be so much better if we were all at a party. Like, okay, all right, skip party. How about like a campfire mountain type with beer and a big projector, and we're all just sitting there on our different lawn chairs watching the court cases. That sounds like pretty awesome. We would have a blast.
Then let's help the lawyers. Are you Benito Galvan?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a lawyer today?
Yeah, she just left. I have to text her back. She just.
Okay, so just hang tight for me back there. We'll wait. Okay? Okay, don't leave, please.
No.
Okay, thanks. Lawyers? Anything? Bueller? Come on, Will. Hey. Yeah.
I do not have a backup battery for my phone, and my phone is constantly almost always dead, but it works.
Tell me. Hey, good morning.
Mr. Jagger with a J.
Okay.
I'll call the first.
In custody?
Correct.
That's okay. Aaron Jackson.
And Judge, we were, going back and forth, looking at what a possible plea could be. I initially indicated that I didn't want to dismiss the trespass outright because I want conditions on him for no contact with the complainant because it's a reoccurring issue.
Refresh my memory about the case. I don't remember.
He had a pending trespass, picked up a DWI, also has a pending DWI in Montgomery County. Both pendings are seconds. His first was in 2015. So he was on bond for the trespass, picked up the DWI. We were going to do, the whole time served dismiss thing, but on the trespass, the complainant is like an ex-girlfriend, and so the state wants like a no contact. And so we're trying to do.
Even whatever we do though, the jurisdiction as soon as we do the plea is over, unless you do a probation, right?
Right, and that's what I was gonna do, Judge. I said, I'm not gonna dismiss the the only way I'll dismiss the trespass is if I can put him on a probation somewhere, so I can get that supervision.
He doesn't want a probation. That's not the issue. The issue is he did a TRAS and they recommended Stat F. So I know the court would follow that 100%.
Yep.
And so the state came back and offered.
So what I was gonna ask you, Judge, it looks like the defendant's not interested in doing any treatment.
It's gonna be a ton of time.
On the DWI. Okay, so you're not.
No, I want him, dude needs treatment, right? And we're taking the easy way out. Stephen, do you mind grabbing Mr. Jaggers, please?
I haven't relayed that offer to him yet.
Oh, hold on, Stephen, hold on. You want to go catch him and just tell him?
Yeah.
And then we can talk.
Okay.
But
His hands are so big. I bet he could just grip a basketball and pick it up with one hand.
Will, it's going to be a lot, like a lot. The fact that he has an open DWI and dude needs treatment, doesn't want to do it, and now.
Even so, the state offered like, okay, we'll time for the DWI and do it 9 months deferred on the trespass because they want anger management and no contact with the complainant on the trespass. But that was still
that's a really screaming deal. You're willing to dump the DWI second.
I'm doing, Judge. I'm getting the enhancement in the DWI. He's got Montgomery County to deal with as well, and I know how tough they are in DWI.
You guys, whatever you want to do, I'm happy with.
So and that's why I was coming here just to see if you'd bless this offer. My intention was as an alternative, because he didn't want to go to SADF. He's not interested in any of that. I don't want to set him up for failure too. So if he's saying he doesn't want to go to SADF, I'm not going to force him to go. What I told him to do is I'll time serve you on the DWI. I get the enhancement. I'm satisfied there. I also get a 9-month deferred on the trespass. And I'm satisfied there because I get the no contact order and the anger management. So I have some supervision for a few months. That'll satisfy the complainant in that case.
But
and he still has.
that's what the issue is. It's still on this court's probation. You're going to follow what you guys need to set up.
Okay.
Dude needs treatment,
right?
Okay.
Okay, it's not doing that. All right, so we're looking at days.
So 300 plus. Sorry, Will.
Hey, don't apologize to me. That makes
If
sense.
if you don't, I'll explain it to him if you want. But
Okay. All right, I'll go talk
no,
to
at
him.
least that way, you know, your complaining witness is also,
Yeah.
you let her know that, hey, he's gonna be in there for quite some time. Not only that, but then Montgomery County has a hold too. So as soon as he's done with our time, then he's gonna have to wait for Montgomery County to come pick him up. So that way she has at least some, you know, if she's truly that scared, you know, advise her to go to the 280th.
And she doesn't want a no contact forever, Judge. That's why I was satisfied with that, because it's just a temporary thing, cool down the issue, you know, and then they can maintain contact, because they do have a child together.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Okay. Right, okay. All right, thank you, Judge.
And if he gives you any kind of issues, just, I'm happy to talk to him.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Yeah, of course.
She working.
Emilio Palomino.
Yeah, of course. Hey.
Oh, we're here. I just wanted to talk to my client about some bond violations.
What is your client's name?
Chanz.
Give me a second. Deputy Anderson, I might need you. Mr. Shirez, come up.
Go ahead and sign for your recess.
We were in here the other day and you were acting like it's all little bunnies jumping in the woods, all happy-go-lucky, knowing full well that you had a ton of bond violations. You were to have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 4:30 in the morning?
We had another judge count to 6 just a few minutes ago. But now I'm scared. This guy counted to 6 and I'm scared.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different violations where you were going out in the middle of the night. Guess what happens, or do you have any response?
Your Honor, I've spoken to the family. I've spoken to Mr. Chanz. I recommended that he get started with some therapy, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you get started with that therapy right now. Guess what happens? Guess. He goes with you. Yeah, we'll get started real quick. We'll talk, I don't know, he'll pop up in tomorrow's docket, we can talk again, but he's out at 4:30 in the morning, 1 in the morning. It's unacceptable. Doesn't get it. So, his bond's $100 now. I'll make it a 5,001. You know, if they have issues making it, just let me know, we can talk. But I mean, I can't just let him go, you know? Yeah, okay, all right, thanks. Thank you. He is, top of page 8.
Ooh, defense attorneys are having a bad day
I'm hearing
today.
it'll be tomorrow.
No, I'm revoking it and raising it to 5,001.
Okay.
And then, so if they have issues and they're unable to make the bond, we can talk, you know, after tomorrow.
Leave her innocent, please.
And then after that, can we get started on the THA? Okay, so that's right. So we came in here with the DWI, but he had,
He's on deferred and
was on the deferred.
already worked something out, but we're just waiting for discovery.
Or what happened? I guess they post.
Yeah, they posted bond on the felony. Yeah, so me and the chief upstairs agreed to a bond. He posted bond. He got out that day. We knew we were coming back for conditions today. And
I've already found probable cause in your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you back in jail. So don't use alcohol, don't use drugs.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, Judge.
He's eligible, Your Honor. Do you have valid liability insurance?
Yes, Judge.
Any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
You're good to go. Just behave yourself. You know you're on felony probation. You pick up any more cases, you violate any conditions of the felony court, holy moly, you're gonna be held at no bond. You better have a halo while you're out there in the free world. Do you understand? Talk to Manny. Manny will advise you, you know, he's great. All right?
Sure.
All right. So.
Excuse sir, after this.
So we'll have you sign a reset. You'll have to meet with regular free bond conditions, then you're free to go.
Maybe excuse.
Yeah, sure. We were, yeah, normal conditions, just no dope, no alcohol, randoms. He's on felony probation, so I don't know what conditions they did up there. Which is probably what we did as well. Josh.
3 cases of work, Judge.
Okay.
First is gonna be Paige Brown.
You saw you got subbed out of one of them, right?
Don't call me, yes, you got it.
Okay.
You did sign that. Okay, great.
Okay, tell me about this, Brown.
Yes, Judge. So, we're putting together a mitigation packet to try for.
I don't need to get involved unless it gets sold. At 72 days, just, you know, you can just go get resets. Unless there's something that you need, then yeah.
Oh, come on, please hit us with a chemistry test question, something. Somebody here will be able to answer it. I know. Come on, hit us with one.
And then I did have 2 that I got on today, Judge. First is gonna be Natasha Jones in custody.
All right, Judge Hernandez.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. I didn't see Josh.
No, Josh. Is she in custody?
She is. I believe she's made bond on the felony case, or it shows that bond is made on that, but she has $1,000 bond on this case and is unable to post
Go ahead and say
that bond.
Oh, Mr. Harrison.
You had 2 cases, Judge, you pleading on the terrorist threat and the criminal trespass being dismissed.
All right, good morning, Mr. Harrison.
Good morning, sir.
So you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with criminal trespass. You're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail on both of those cases. You've worked out an agreement where they're going to dismiss the criminal trespass in exchange for your plea on the terroristic threat. They've offered you 30 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
We'll give you credit for all the time that you've done. It doesn't tell me. You have 10 days credit. So you're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this.
Yes, sir.
You also are enhanced with your prior Class A misdemeanor of criminal trespass. Is it true or untrue that you had the prior trespass?
True.
All right. I'm going to sentence you to 30 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 10 days that you've done as part of the agreement. I'm sorry. I'm going to sentence you on the terroristic threat. As part of the agreement, your trespass will be dismissed on motion of the state. How do you plead, sir?
Be guilty, sir.
I will find you guilty. Good luck to you, sir. We'll roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Judge. You good?
You said we have a Spanish arraignment, right?
Yes.
Okay, who is it?
Hernandez.
Hernandez, come up.
Followed Lewis around, got him in 2 courtrooms.
Como le dije, acérquese ahí. Solo mire el juez y le contesta nada más en español.
Jaime Hernandez.
Hernandez, ¿es usted? Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, you're
Hernandez,
charged with failure to stop and give information, leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. To do probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 29th, 2024, officers were dispatched in reference to a failure to stop and give information in Harris County, Texas. Officers made contact with the complainant. The complainant stated the defendant came into his lane, causing a head-on collision. The collision was with the vehicle's left bumper, causing the complainant to swerve off the road and into the shoulder. The complainant stated he observed the defendant slow rolling and looking back at him, making eye contact. The complainant was out of the vehicle inspecting the damage and observed the defendant slowly drive away, having sustained damage to his vehicle as well. The complainant stated he attempted to catch back up.
I'm sorry. The complainant stated what?
The complainant stated he attempted to catch back up with the defendant, traveled half a mile, and spotted the defendant's vehicle parked at an auto zone. The complainant observed the defendant's vehicle to have damage and the defendant standing across the street. The complainant made contact with the defendant to discuss the situation, to which the defendant stated he was not at fault. Officers made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated the complainant was at fault due to crossing his lane, that he did not stop as he was scared for his 8 and 4-year-old sons inside the vehicle. The damage to the complainant's vehicle, approximately $1,500.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have, well, are you a citizen of the United States?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Sin permiso. Without permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
Te voy a una cárcel. Well, they'll, I don't know, lock me up for some time.
I've never seen
Yes.
this before.
But what will happen is immigration will get a hold of you. And when they do that, they will put an immigration detainer on you. And you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration. You were lucky to get out of jail one time. The next time you go to jail, you might not get so lucky. So if you're not in this country, you must be on your best behavior. Do you understand?
Entendió, señor.
Do you have a Texas driver license?
No.
Then you are not allowed to drive. And I am making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing today a promise with me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care where you have to go. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. And if they prove it to me, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Entendió, señor.
And I'm going to tell you now that immigration sweeps the jail every 4 hours. So if you're in jail for an extended period of time, that's when they will find you and put the detainer on you. You were lucky to get out fast enough before they were able to do this. Don't push your luck.
Con su suerte, señor. Sí, señor, no, señor. Yes, sir.
That's so nice. Crest.
Wish they could see what I see.
I'm gonna have you come up here, sign this reset for me.
Very,
After
very
that, we're gonna get you out of here to hire a lawyer.
Para que contrate un abogado.
Come back to court.
Él va al
You have
tribunal.
pictures
Come
in
back to
Cuando
Discord?
vuelva al tribunal,
and you behave yourself. Good things happen.
buenas cosas pasan, señor.
Fail to,
Si usted falta de comparecer,
I will issue a warrant. You will not get any more PR bonds. And that's when they will get a hold of
que
you.
ahí es donde van
You
a
understand?
agarrar tipo a usted. ¿Entendió? Yes, sir.
Come back. Good things will happen when you do. That
Your Honor, if I may, just a moment ago when I was giving him just brief instructions on what to do, you know, when we were post events, he asked me what he would need to do in order to file for a court-appointed lawyer. I told him the judge would have to give you permission to fill out an application.
Do you work?
Ando.
What do you do?
¿Qué hace usted? ¿A qué se dedica? Mecánico. O mechanic.
How much money do you make a month?
Dinero gana por mes. Depends on the work that comes in. I work for myself.
400, 500 por semana.
Maybe 400 to 500 per week.
The problem is that you have to qualify for an
Usted tiene
appointed
que
lawyer.
calificar por un abogado.
I don't give them out like candy on Halloween. If you meet the guidelines, which is poverty guidelines, and then at that point, I can appoint you a lawyer. So what I can do is I can give you an application. I need to know everything about you. I need to know how much money you make a month, whoever you live with, how much money they make, what kind of cars you have, stocks, bonds, IRAs, how much money you have at the bank. Fill this out. I will take a look at it, and if you qualify, I'd be happy to appoint your lawyer. But like I said, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There's no quicker way to go to jail. This is the only warning that you will get from me. That way. All right.
Good to go on the application, Your Honor?
Yes, please. Now, Luis, when you, hey, when you were singing, I thought something bad had happened, the way you were singing. Vic, ready? Yeah, come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, guys, Bazzi made chicken pot pie. Not chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie.
Oh, nice.
Look, Bazzi, I'm going to show you what mine sort of looks like. I got to find it. Pennsylvania Dutch. Chicken pot pie.
Good morning, ma'am. Do you have a lawyer today?
I hired a lawyer, but I didn't pay her. I hired a lawyer, but I didn't pay her, so she's supposed to come. But I just started school, so I wasn't able to pay her what she asked for. So I told her I tried.
You just started school?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, ma'am?
52.
How did you just start school at 52?
I started Friday, went to real estate school. I had too much time on my hand. I had to find something to do.
Right there.
And what are you doing?
I went to real estate school, started real estate school.
You're really going to real estate school?
Yes, sir. I go to Texas Real Estate U.
You actually enrolled?
Yes, sir.
You have proof of that enrollment?
Yes.
You can show me that you've enrolled in school, I'll give you a lawyer.
That's chicken pot pie. Right there. See, the dough is in.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Ma'am, hold on. Let me have you fill out an application first. Okay? And then get that and we'll take a look at it simultaneously.
I used the whole chicken.
I have a plea ready, Judge, but my guy's in custody, so he's.
Is it done for?
No, it's jail. Oh, wait, oh, wait.
No. When you just. Yeah.
Who are we getting?
Don't worry about it. Anderson got it.
That's Pennsylvania Dutch chicken pot pie.
No, I can roll maxed out back there, so I had to run them downstairs to hold them.
We have too many people?
I got way too many people, and then I got Mr. Moses, which is handcuff playground. I mean, it's.
Business is good.
No, it's not.
Not today.
Chippy back there. Very chippy. Not yet spoken to Mr. Jaggers. I'm waiting till things cool down back there a bit.
China's is from Compton and one, right? That's so they can pick them down.
Who?
China's.
Yeah.
Tell them before reset.
Yes, ma'am.
How's your weekend, Judge?
Right, we can try this.
I'll send it to him.
Mr. Tony Jones, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Jones, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with terroristic threat. You're also charged with possession of a controlled substance. You've worked out an agreement. They're going to dismiss the possession case in exchange for your plea on the terroristic threat. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. You can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of terroristic threat of a family or a household member?
Yes, sir.
Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty on the terroristic threat, sentence you to 3 days in jail,
Credit for 11 days.
give you credit for those 11 days. On motion of the state, your possession case will be dismissed. Good luck to you, sir. Thanks. All right, take care. Yes, sir.
This is Joe Robert Battaglia. You seen him for a drug test. I've been appointed to represent him, but I will.
Okay.
He tested positive THC, which he admitted.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
What do you mean?
Working or you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm working.
Where do you work?
I do DoorDash, I do Lyft, and I,
Right, he had told me that every time. So I'm going to drug test him a lot.
Okay.
He's been using opiates, and I want to make sure that he's not using any opiates at all.
Okay.
I'm going to drug test you like crazy within the next week or two. And I want you to understand that you're not to use any illegal substances.
yes, sir. Is there any like way to I can get like a class or something substance abuse, I can get some help on it? That's what I really want.
I don't have anything yet until you accept some kind of plea bargain, like probation or anything like this. I don't have anything now, but there are things that you can do, like Narcotics Anonymous, where you talk to other people. There are other outpatient, and I can have you meet with Shatori so we can figure something out for you.
Sir.
Don't use mind over matter.
Sir.
If you get the feeling that you want to use, you have to reach out to someone like at a Narcotics Anonymous or an AA, and they can talk you through it so that you don't use. But I'm telling you, the next time you use, you will stay with me in custody. And you've got 2 cases. So your bonds are going to be at least 10 to 15,000 if I revoke your bonds.
Sir.
And if you don't have anyone to make it, you're going to be sitting in there for a long time.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So the magistrate put a GPS device on him.
I already have a ankle monitor on, sir.
Probably so that he wouldn't go near the complaining witness. That's what I would suspect. All right, I'll take it off. Okay,
sir.
But if, like I said, if I find that you're becoming a problem, first I'm gonna put you in jail. The next thing I'm gonna put that thing back on you.
Yes, sir.
Choose no drugs, no alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Contact with the complaining witness.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
I wish I could put people in jail that cause me problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm bringing him back next week.
Short
We're gonna
recess,
test
Judge?
again. Yep, very short. A week.
Week?
Yeah.
Like next week? Okay, no problem.
Okay, good luck, guys. Good luck with your trial. Carl, did you get anyone else? Okay. Hey.
How are you?
What's up?
How's your weekend?
Fantastic. You?
I did reach out to,
Mr. Anderson, no.
he's in the box.
Mr. Anderson.
I did reach out to Sentinel on Friday to just see if I could get any additional information. And they told me, the gentleman I spoke with told me he cannot give me any information without a report.
What's the problem?
I guess there's a space where it wasn't reaching my skin or something like that.
So it was a 16-hour, I think 16 hours and like 19 temper. And then we did reach out to the Sentinel end of this. And all they'll say was that they can't confirm whether or not what the temper is, they just know that it's something blocking the skin.
For 16 hours, something?
16 hours and 19 minutes.
I can prove I was at work for most of that time.
Prove it. So I'm gonna have you take a seat because I'm gonna do other business. You guys show me.
Okay.
Proof. Show me that
I
you're at
have
work
off
and that you can
Mondays.
prove.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, for sure.
We'll stand down.
All right, Vic, you ready? Thanks, Rachel.
Page 29. Joe. See, Strong? Come on up.
No, so here's what happened. We have trivia Tuesday nights, and we've always had 2 on because we've always had strong staff for Tuesdays. But those people are gone now, so now we have other staff on Tuesdays. Stop. They can't handle it. So now there's 3 on for Tuesdays from now on. That sucks.
Good morning, Mr. Seastrong. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that. Why not? When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Company went out of business in February. I've been DoorDash and.
So you are working?
What, it's not enough to afford, because I got my kids. I don't have enough to afford a lawyer from what I make from DoorDash.
How much money do you make a month?
Probably barely 300, maybe.
How much?
Barely 300.
300.
That's a job I applied for. I applied to be a dishwasher. I just wanted to stand in the back and wash dishes. And they said no.
What? What? A day? A week? You make $300 a month. I don't believe that for a second. How do you eat? How do you survive?
I stay with my wife. My wife.
So your wife works.
Yes.
What does your wife do?
She does, assistant at a apartment facility.
How much money does she make a month?
She just started, so I'm really not sure. It's probably been about 3 weeks or so.
Why do the
Too bad he's married, man. I haven't had someone live off me in a while. It's about time.
why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you don't do anything? How is that fair? Why you get to sit at home, play Xbox? Well, why do the people of Harris County get to pay for your lawyer? How's that fair? You're able-bodied. There's no reason why you shouldn't be working. You need a job.
Yes, sir, I work, I take care of my kids. We just got
No, but you're not taking care of your kids. No, kids need food. They need clothes. Not just love, they need physical things as well. And if you're not pulling your weight, then you're not helping your kids. Your wife is helping your kids. What conditions did we put on Mr. Seastrunk, please? I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm telling you, Mr. Seastrunk, but I'm telling you the truth. How old are you? You're 39 and you make $300 a month. That's silly. And it's a shame.
I work for one out of business.
Then find something else.
Helping.
Do you know that there are so many companies out there that are begging for workers that are willing to pay you $15 to $20 an hour for you to work? Amazon, Starbucks. There's so many other places that are begging for workers because they just don't have enough. I'm not gonna, no. I'm making it a condition of your bond now that you get a full-time job. And I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. But as far as what you get to hang out and do nothing all day, and then I have to pay for your lawyer too? You want a back rub too? No. I will give you an application. I'm going to send it home, and then I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, then life's not going to go well. But it's not fair that we all here, I mean, I might as well just give you my wallet now. That's what we're doing.
And Your Honor, I may previously had a bond condition of no driving because the defendant expressed he had no insurance. So you add and prove that as well, no driving.
I hope you are not driving, Mr. Seastrunk.
I was able to get.
I don't need a back rub because every time I try to sleep, my cats jump right on top of me.
Insurance from.
You are supposed to get court approval first before you drive, and you signed.
Got insurance a few days after we left from here. You told me not to drive without getting.
Deputy Anderson, can you get that piece of paper, please? Sorry, guys. Just momentarily. Can you hand that to him? What does that say?
No driving without insurance approval.
Man, don't play Helen Keller. No driving without valid liability insurance and court approval. Do you want to go to jail?
Victoria, please don't call off work in 7 days, please. I mean, I'm there to see the judge. Yeah, but I'm there to see you. Don't call in sick. Don't get sick. I will come to your house if you think you're going to call in sick.
Don't drive. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law, Mr. Seastrunk. I don't give out lawyers like it's candy on Halloween, and I expect you to pull your weight. And I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you, but sometimes in life, someone needs to put you over their knee and tell you this is how things need to go. And you, at 39, need to grow up and pull your weight. Start working. Don't be a bum. Can you give him an application? And we will see you back in 2 weeks. And then can you file conditions, please, that he must get a full-time job, please? That way.
Michael said he can't make it.
All right, you ready?
Well, Judge, I have to bring someone out for a waiver and then I need to get the plea approval on a bond, on a jail case. Do you want me to come back or are you still doing?
However you want.
Okay, are you sure?
However you
Oh,
want.
okay. If we can bring out John Akey for the waiver of extradition, and while we're doing that, I wanted to get approval on a plea on Eli, who is a jail case. Dustin Eli.
Go eat your chicken.
You had requested a TRAS. He refused the TRAS because he was in his medical state. I have been in contact with the jail. It's great. He got out of his medical state. He was willing to do a TRAS, but then we didn't reschedule one. I thought we did, like, I thought we would just do.
So we never got the TRS done.
No, but I've worked out a deal with the state to work it out, and he's been in jail for 30 days. So I was hoping we could take a deal today. It'll be time served on the DWI.
Oh.
And well, it's always a, there's, you know,
Problem is that we don't know if he needs help.
I know he needs help.
So-
But I mean, at the end of the day, we also have to think about the officer of investigation and working out a deal.
No, he needs help. We're pleading him to time served on the street, and then it's bring him up for film. You know,
Well,
what I'd like to do this is I want him to do the TRS.
okay.
And I'm gonna tell him now that I'm not, I want to know, I need to know more about him. And if he's gonna refuse to do it, I'm just gonna tell him I'm setting him his case for trial.
He's willing to do it now.
Oh, he is?
He is,
Okay,
he
then
is.
can
The
you
first
do-
week he was,
Can we do an expedited one, please?
10-9,
Okay, please.
Okay, so then I'll set him a little bit later this week. Or how long do you need for the TRAS report?
I'd say maybe like at least 3 days after.
Just so they can get all the process. I think it's just all dry, the different issues, so. Okay, I'll set it for earlier next week then.
Thanks.
On that one. And then just this waiver whenever he gets brought out, and I'll step aside. Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey,
How are you?
what's up?
I haven't seen you in so long, Judge.
What's new?
Same, nothing new, nothing exactly the same.
Why do we have to beg people to work? Why do we have to beg people to work?
Well, I
You know?
would like to be not working when you're judge. So I think.
You're gonna have like $2 million by 85, you know?
So they'll last.
Yeah, they will pay you to live there. That's right. Yeah, they'll subsidize your living. But then you gotta eat caribou.
Yeah, or Costco, they have one Costco, the smallest Costco in the world,
Like,
in Fairbanks. Yeah.
it's like my favorite store. Whoa.
So is mine. They opened a new one in Tomball that I just went to go visit.
I love that stuff.
And they have the largest one in Texas, in Richmond. It just opened, but I'm like, that's too far for me to travel. But anytime a new one opens, that's how obsessed with Costco.
Me too.
And I don't even have children. I just buy for me and the dog. Judge, whenever the court is ready, I have the case. Judge, I'm covering for Eric Benavides, and we are here on Mr. Barrera, Barrera. First name is Ignacio.
Okay.
And he is present, Judge. Mr. Barrera, since Thursday, has been entered into the DWI PTI program. However, unfortunately, on October the 1st, he missed a drug test. And so the court wanted him to appear today to address that bond violation before the court signs the DWI PTI supervision order.
Did he take a drug test?
He has not. I think he's here for the court to order him or address it. That's what the court would like.
You just send him, if he's clean, then we'll move forward.
Perfect.
Okay.
You want to do it right now, right, Judge? Okay.
We'll send him now, assuming, if he's clean, then we'll send the order and then we're good to go. So,
Perfect. That's all I have, Judge. Thank
thanks,
you.
Lee.
I love
Barrera.
both of those sentences.
Bottom of page 4. Is it Mr. Aki?
I know.
Coming up, sir. Ay, ay, ay.
I don't even know.
Ay, ay, ay.
I don't even know.
Okay, so it says here that you are wanted for, out of pencil, shh. You are wanted out of
Yo, is Tristan on today's docket? Did I miss Tristan? Is Tristan here?
Pennsylvania for rape, forcible compulsion, rape of an unconscious victim, sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault without consent, aggravated indecent assault, forcible compulsion, another aggravated indecent assault, complainant is unconscious or unaware that PE, indecent assault without consent of another, indecent assault, forcible compulsion, simple assault, harassment, subjecting another to physical contact. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And these are misdemeanors?
Okay.
I didn't do any of that. I promise you that.
Look,
Hey, I understand. And I,
really, here, we're not interested in it. This is just, you were wanted out of Pennsylvania. And all we're doing here is determining whether
felony.
you are in fact
I mean, fugitive.
John Aki. If you are, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for Pennsylvania to come get you. We normally give them 2 weeks to come get you from the day that you waive extradition, which is today. Are you waiving formal extradition?
Yeah.
Okay, so as of today, they have 14 days to come get you, and if they don't come get you by that time,
Don't send them back
Harris County
here.
will release you. Okay? All right, good luck. Good morning, guys.
morning.
All right, offer please, Your Honor. You got Mr. Cuellar, Mr. Gunthorpe, and Mr. Tucker. Mr. D, if you'll step on this side.
Yes, sir.
For me, so you got Mr. Gunthorpe and Mr. Tucker.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allen has Mr. Cuellar.
No, I don't think I have signed that.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. To the judge. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Is that Ramona?
Yes.
What? Are we doing this on the record?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. One of my clients has a felony. He's on felony parole.
Okay, hold on, let me just sign this, and then we'll, so tell me when you want to go on the record, Ramona. And is it for Gunthorpe, I'm assuming?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so let's do that first and get you out of here.
Order of the court, going on the record, hold all conversations.
Stephen, that was a
Um,
bit rude. This is my channel. I could talk whenever I want to. You're just like the commenters. Anyway, which one is Gunthorpe? Which one?
Today is October 7th. It's approximately 10:32 in the morning. And before me, I have, for the defense,
John Dixon.
state.
Alex Macias.
Okay. What we have is we have a Hakeem Khalif Gunthorpe, cause number 252-6467. Mr. Gunthorpe, you are charged with theft. Misdemeanor theft, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. It looks to me that you guys have worked out an agreement, and the reason that we're doing this on the record, Mr. Gunthorpe, is, believe it or not, for your protection, because from what I understand, you're on parole, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so.
No, sir, to the
Yes, sir.
judge.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. So what happens is when you're on parole, you're supposed to behave yourself. And when you don't, and when you pick up new cases, a multitude of things can happen. They can issue a blue warrant, meaning that you are stuck in custody until you have a hearing, a parole hearing. If a blue warrant has not been issued, then you need to understand that by pleading guilty to this offense now, it can be used to revoke your parole. Now, they may revoke it, they may not revoke it, they may send you to ISF, I don't know. But you need to understand that there are more consequences than the average person, because being on parole, it can affect your parole status. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you still want to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You give up a lot of rights, and this applies to all three of you guys. You give up a lot of rights by entering the agreement today. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you guys are not citizens, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never undo this. This isn't like Target where you don't like it, you can just return it. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You cannot take it off after that. You guys understand?
Yes, sir.
Is this what you guys want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Gunthorpe, on your theft case, you have worked out 126 days in Harris County Jail with 42 days credit. Is it enhanced? It's alleged here that you had a prior unauthorized use of a motor vehicle out of the 338th Judicial District Court. Is this true or untrue? All right, how do you plead to the offense?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to the agreement, sentence you to 126 days in jail, give you credit for the 42 days that you've done. The enhancement is true. Good luck to you, Mr. Gunthorpe. Okay, off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Cuellar, are you on probation or parole at this time?
Parole.
Oh, I guess we're gonna do this one on the record too. Is he your client?
Mine, Your Honor. This one's mine, yeah.
Okay, that's right. You also need to understand that by being on parole, this is Cuellar. Yeah. Do you want to do this on the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you back on, Ramona?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Mr. Marco Antonio Cuellar's case, cause number 252-6210,
I got one.
he is
yeah.
charged with misdemeanor theft as well. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. He has advised us that he is also on parole as well. Did you say a blue warrant in this case has actually been issued though?
He's
Right?
currently on hold.
Okay.
Yes, parole right now, Your Honor.
Now, for purposes of the record, can you identify yourself?
Alan Williams for the defense.
And Alex Macias for the state.
Right. All right, so you've been advised of your rights, Mr. Cuellar. Did you want to, how do you plead in this office? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I will find you guilty and I will sentence you to 30 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you've done.
IBI.
It's enhanced as well.
Yes, I have a copy.
Okay, it says here that you are enhanced with your attempted burglary of a motor vehicle out of county court at law number 5 from March of this year. Is this true or untrue that you had this?
True.
Okay, true to the enhancement as well. All right, guys, I wish you two the best of luck. And lastly, you are Mr. Tucker.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tucker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. And you have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 44 days that you've done.
Yes, sir.
You need to understand that there comes with this, though, an affirmative finding of family violence. What that means is that you can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this plea bargain. You pick up a gun, that in and of itself is a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year.
Yes, sir.
Knowing this, do you still want to go forward with it?
Yes, sir.
All right, how do you plead to the assault, sir?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to the time. If there are any enhancements in your case, they will be abandoned. Guys, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and go right through that door for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramona.
Hollahan, I should say, Your Honor. Mr. Hollahan. Just to be transparent with you before the plea,
Me too.
this is the young man that you had tested twice. I believe the last one was today, and I think it was Friday of last week or Thursday, one day last week. He had come back and he tested positive for, I believe, the last time was THC, and he tested today, and he tested positive for alcohol and THC.
You want me to let you go?
Yes, sir. I drank NyQuil last night, forgetting about.
Mods, it's okay. Calm down. Breathe. Actually, mods, not Judge Fleischer mods, just walk away for a minute. Just walk away and sing a song, pet a cat. It's fine.
Do you really expect me to believe that, Mr. Houlihan?
Yes, sir. I I've also got, I got a job now. Working.
And stay sober if you can't not consume alcohol while you're just on bond. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. It's only a matter of time before you're before us again.
I do it all the
Hopefully you
time.
haven't wrapped your car around a pole, or more importantly, kill someone else, you know?
Man, sir,
but
working on making changes in my life.
Like testing positive, right? What changes have you done? Other than I'm gonna.
I've started.
I don't want to hear I'm gonna.
I've started seeing the psychiatrist online, working on my mental health.
Mr. D, I don't know. I mean, he tests positive for alcohol today.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I confirmed it with Rachel. She did test positive for alcohol.
We admonish you when you come here. When I say no alcohol, I mean no alcohol from any source. I'd say to every single person that walks through our double doors over there. So for you to tell me it's NyQuil, you know you're not supposed to, because I advise you of that very fact, not to use anything that has not alcohol in. I can't just. I know you want to plead guilty, and I probably would have accepted this had you tested negative, but you're testing for alcohol on the day of court. That means that you must have very, very recently consumed alcohol. And if I accept this plea today, I am sending you out into the world, and I'm setting you up for failure. That's all it does. And that's the exact opposite of what we try to do here. Believe it or not, I want to help every single person that comes here. And if that means taking you into custody, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're on bond for this case. You're testing positive for alcohol. It goes with you. Mr. D, we'll talk, okay? We'll figure, Mr. Houlihan, I mean, I'm not gonna throw the keys away, but we gotta figure something out. And this, it's just not, it serves no one. So, okay, thank you. It goes with you.
I gave him that process the last time.
Just bear with me, ma'am. Let me talk to the lawyers and then I'll bring you up. We can talk, okay? Give me a bit. Come on. Sure.
Judge, I have Adrian Caldwell. I don't know if you remember this one. This is from Friday, the house arrest.
Bail or on bond?
He's on bond, Judge. He's in the jury box. And you had told him to go to 49th Casino. We kind of rolled the bond violation hearing to today. He's confirmed with pretrial that he did not leave his residence. And he also had a defective issue with his device. And so they fixed that issue.
Mr. Caldwell.
And Judge, he wanted me to ask you if there's any way we could do some sort of ankle monitor to allow him to work, because he's trying to contribute financially to his mother's household where he's living right now. If there's any way you would be willing to have him with a curfew, just anything where he could actually work, because I believe he has a job lined up. Isn't that right, Mr. Caldwell?
Okay. You're on bond for retaliation, aggravated assault of a family member, violation of protective order with me, interference with the emergency request for assistance, and then a felony retaliation. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. You have bond violations with us now, and you want me to let you go?
No, I was just saying like curfew.
Just a curfew, Judge, is what he was asking for, some sort of ankle monitor to allow him to work.
What the violation is now, he's going out, right?
The violation for.
What do you want?
We come back, remember you told me about San Jacinto Friday? Just
To confirm whether his device was defective, and they said that his device did have an issue with it, isn't that right?
And they tightened it up.
So I'm not going to take his word for it. I need to see it from them.
Yes,
right?
Judge.
but
So his original violation was for, he left his house on 9/28 and then returned to, he left at 10:58 AM and then returned to 10:55 PM. But then there was like basically he was saying that something was wrong with the device, he was supposed to report to pre-trial. They told him to report his next court date, but then the court date got moved to Friday. But he did report after court lecture.
so what if they're saying that any issues with the device?
Yes, it was something wrong with it. They tightened it, right? They checked the charger. They said it's fine.
But he's still going out though.
No. He doesn't have another violation. He only has the violation from the 30th.
Right, but in that violation, he's going out, right?
Yeah, on the 28th, he left from 10:59 to,
And are they able to confirm that he went out?
it's a concern.
That's a true violation.
Yes, Judge, but you had mentioned that.
With the mother issue, remember?
Yeah, we
called my mother.
discussed that. You spoke
Oh,
to.
mom never answered that, right?
No, she
you
answered,
talked to
Judge,
her.
and she said that she would be willing to allow him to do his house arrest at her residence. But before she had kicked him
Oh, she
out.
kicked him right out.
Right, because she was upset with him for not, previously, before the house arrest, he had been financially contributing to the household. And then after his house arrest, he was unable to do that. And so she got upset with him and kicked him out. And it was a situation where he's caught between a rock and a hard place, because if he stays there and refuses to leave, then his mother might call the cops on him and he might have a whole new case. So
And then
it's,
he did call pre-trial, but it was after hours, so he talked to JPC.
What do you want now?
At least like a curfew or something, so I can. For a dog or something.
My problem is that you're just gonna do nothing and go out and be up to no good out in the free world. That's my concern. If you had a job, then I'd be happy to let you work. But I don't want to just give you free reign to go do whatever you want, 12 hours a day, you know. I mean, we can do this in baby steps where if you want to try to get
Me and Bill look a lot alike, and our names are very similar too.
a job, I can give you a couple hours, like maybe a day or two for you to go out and look for a job. And then when you get a job, if you
Yes,
can get a
Mufati,
job
that's
with
my
all this
special
baggage
clip.
you got, then we can modify your times out
It's just for me.
for your job purposes. But I'm not giving you free reign to go out to wreak more havoc in my town because I want my town
It's for me
protected,
and
right?
Bob.
So with you at home or in jail, I know that Houston's protected because we got enough drama. I don't want any more death and destruction. So work out some kind of deal where maybe 1 or 2 hours and for a couple days, you can go out to get time to look for a job. And then if you get a job, we can give you more, but very, very, very little baby steps.
yes, Judge.
So work something out and then we'll see.
Yes,
Okay?
Judge.
You guys plan out what day, how many hours. It's not going to be a lot. I want to give you the opportunity to go get a job, but there's no free rent for you to just go out and wreak havoc. And then if you do get a job, I'll give you enough time to work. And I want a legitimate job. No home health care, no, like a 9 to 5 where you pay taxes, a legitimate job, whether it's, you know, FedEx, Burger King. You understand? Okay, go to it. Let me know. Ricardo.
Judge, Judge, I had one more case.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricardo.
Sorry about that.
That's
I have
okay.
Mr. Hubler from Friday. I don't know if you remember him, Judge.
Oh, man.
You ordered him to get drug tested every Monday and Thursday. Judge, I don't think he's here. I texted him. He told me that he's homeless, Judge, and he lives in Tomball. And
He's not here, then he's not here.
he was trying to get drug treatment with Star of Hope, and he wanted me to let you know that.
We'll give it to you in a docket. If you haven't heard anything, just let me know.
And so bond forfeiture today? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judge.
For sure. Thanks.
Hey, Judge, good morning.
There it is, Jennifer. There it is.
Hi.
Said it was delicious.
I'm approaching on
His
one of
wife
the
said it was
defendants out of
delicious.
Miami County. Ricardo's only representing one of them. But they're
Ricardo.
asking for,
Hey, Judge. Well, Amy asked me to come through on this case.
they're asking for a 3-day extension.
Imagine you're opposed, right?
Of course, Judge.
There's an extenuating circumstance, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think the hurricane's hit just yet.
They just got hit by a hurricane.
Did they? Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure,
and they're
Judge.
about to get, well, did they get hit again by another hurricane or what? Or Florida, man?
Mostly Florida this time.
Is that any?
Pretty much Florida this time.
Either way, Judge, the big issue here is there's all these sexually related offenses. And now he's doing it again in a public park where there's people congregated, families, children. and-
I get it.
Yeah,
Would
I'd
you
eat
please
that.
call back and see?
Oh, yeah.
Was he supposed to register or not? Would you please? And then, yeah. Mr. Davis, take a seat from the jury box, please.
Appears from the Texas registry website, it does show any registration date is 5/6/19. Yes.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Victoria asked me to come back on, I think on a new case I was appointed on today.
Give me 1 second. Let me check this out. Hold on.
No worries.
I think those are leaves, guys.
Texas
Hold on.
sex offender.
Let's look. I think it looks lovely. They look like leaves to me. Smoking leaves.
Here you go, Josh.
We're already melted. He really does have a nice haircut and beard trim. He did a good job.
Josh, this says ending registration date and then in parentheses projected. So does that mean because he didn't register, it was told? Okay, Will.
5/20/19, there was verification with the Houston Police Department. So that's after when he is projected to have ended his registration requirements. So it's like he's contacted with them since this date. So I would think it's
Will, who'd you get?
I think Victoria wanted me to zoom in on Compton, maybe?
Page 27, last name OCU.
Okay.
Oh, that one, I thought that was voided.
No, so Carl got it originally, but he's in trial, so
trial.
Brian appointed you.
Okay, I saw that and then I saw that it was voided, so I didn't think I got it.
So
Yeah,
he's still on
He did
it?
a void email and then just added you right back on.
Okay, so we're good with him taking the window.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, come up. Deputy Anderson, would you mind getting her cell phone number, please, so we can give it to Will? If you can please provide your cell phone so I can give it to the lawyer.
Okay.
See the banging and the clicking and the papers and the microphones being, none of that happens in Raul's courtroom.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Ogundo,
Video. Yes, sir.
Will has been appointed to represent you. He's here on Zoom, but the TVs aren't working. So what's gonna happen now is you're gonna need to talk to him about your case. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If you pick up a new case, if you violate any of the conditions, we will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. As long as you stay in touch with him, good things will happen. I'm going to send him your cell phone now. As soon as you leave here, he's gonna reach out to you and you guys formulate a plan.
Can he give me an hour because the phone is off? I need to go pay. the-
Absolutely.
That's
Did you
fine,
hear that?
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just
so-
gonna shoot you a text as soon as I get your number and then you just respond when you're available.
Yes, sir.
Give me a second.
Or did he tell you that did he show you my receipt that I was in?
Yes, yeah, you're good. That's why I appointed your lawyer now. So just stay out of trouble, stay in touch with Will, good things will happen, okay? We will have you sign a reset, and then after that, you're free to go, okay?
Thank
Okay,
you.
man.
Have a blessed day.
You too, good luck.
All right, Judge, we're looking at December 3rd through the 5th.
Did you hear that, Will?
I saw, she's
Fourth,
so
fourth.
adorable.
Four? Okay.
Fourth.
I'm gonna get you to sign this.
Okay, Mr. D. Yes, sir.
Judge, I am here on,
All right, guys, I went way over. I just let it go on because I wasn't done, and I went way over. But we got most of today's docket done completely. Judge Fleischer's court starts in, I don't know, 2 hours and some change. Maybe he'll start early today. Just so you know, we had over 1,000 people in chat yesterday in Judge Fleischer's court. 1,000. I think we almost hit 1,100. I don't think we actually hit 1,100, but I think we almost did. If you're bored until Judge Fleischer's court starts, try this link. That's American Court's last stream. And try this link. What you're about to witness is real. Tokyo's link. That'll keep you busy until Judge Fleischer starts. Thank you so much for coming out today and staying for a long stream. I will, I'm getting a trial today in Georgia. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. If it's not good, I won't play it. And I'll just waste all that time recording it. That's fine. Everybody in Florida, leave right now. Just leave right now. I don't know how else to say it. Leave Florida right now, and then we will talk to you again instead of not leaving, and we won't talk to you again. Go make a chicken pot pie like Fozzie's and eat it today. It's not hard. You can do it. You really can. Thanks for coming out, guys. Behave. See you next time.
Got these life echoes, digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.
If anybody's still here, I also forgot there's going to be a trial in Fleischer's courtroom too today, I think. We'll see if it goes. It might not go. You know how trials are. So this should be interesting. I am absolutely not playing jury selection here. So if you want to see the jury selection, go to Judge Fleischer's stream and watch it.
Tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle she lights the way. Her eyes near sky so blue. In her jokes there's a truth so true. With each string she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales waiting to the night. her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted song, in a way there's no wrong.